Hi guys, Carla here. I know I said I wouldn't record a video this week because of my health, but then Star Wars decided to release a brand new full-length Rogue One trailer, and I thought to myself, my health can wait a little bit more. I just felt that I needed to talk about this because it freaking blew my mind how good it was. And I know that I'm not alone because when it was released last night at the Olympics, pretty much the whole of Twitter was freaking out along with me. So I totally feel like this is something that I need to talk about because everybody's talking about it, and I decided I would just record a really short video just talking about what I thought about the trailer. I can't show you my reaction because obviously I cannot contain myself and I watched it as soon as I saw it on Twitter. So it's not like it's a reaction, it's just my thoughts on it, what I think about it, what I liked, and just how excited I am for this movie. I'm gonna try to keep this short because, again, my health not in the best condition at the moment. So I really shouldn't talk that long, and really I don't want it to be a precedent of the fact that I can absolutely talk for 15 minutes straight about a 2-minute length trailer. I don't want that to be a thing, so I'm gonna try my best to just keep this short. Rogue One, it's an interesting thing because since The Force Awakens came out last year and it was such a huge success, both critically and financially, everybody's been thinking of these anthology films that Lucasfilm announced as a sort of sideline little brother of the big episode films, or of the real Star Wars films, which most people seem to be the episodes. So everybody kind of thinks of these anthology movies as, oh, it's just a movie that is kind of based on Star Wars, but it's not one of the big ones, right? And the first thing that hit me when I saw this trailer is, hell no, Lucasfilm is taking this as seriously as they would take any episode, okay? Because this movie looks real, dude. It looks for sure like something that they put all their effort into. I think that's the part that kind of blows my mind the most, is that this is not a story that is centered in the Skywalker family or even in the Force and the Jedi. It's not one of the main timeline stories. It's something that already passed, and it's just from like this one throwaway line in A New Hope. And yet Lucasfilm is obviously taking this very seriously. They're trying to make as good a movie as they would with any of the episodic installments. And I think that's the right thing to do, because while Rogue One probably will not make the numbers that The Force Awakens did, and I've said this from the beginning, The Force Awakens was a special thing, okay? It was the first Star Wars movie in more than a decade, and it was the comeback story in a sense. It was the first Star Wars movie when people actually had hope that a Star Wars movie might be good again. So I think replicating what The Force Awakens did is going to be very difficult, but this trailer seriously convinced me that Lucasfilm is in it to make sure that the gap between Force Awakens and Rogue One is as small as it can possibly be. They are making a quality product. And I know it's just a trailer. It might turn out that the movie's not as good as it seems, but for now, that's what I'm thinking. That's the way I feel, that Lucasfilm is seriously just giving us movies that are good, regardless of whether they're anthology or episodic. As far as the trailer itself goes, I loved it for many reasons. I love that we got to see a little bit more of the characters. We got to see, I'm a huge fan of Diego Luna, so I adore that we got to hear him speak. We got to see him bond a little with Felicity Jones, which, by the way, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I totally ship them. Just from the one trailer, I totally ship them already, and I'm kind of terrified because I don't think this movie is going to end well for them as a couple, if it even becomes a coupley thing. I don't know. They might just be friends, who knows, but I ship them, and I have the feeling that one of them is going to die in this movie, and I'm terrified. So yeah, that aside, I love to see Diego Luna. I mean, he seems so confident and so big. He usually in his movies, he's not like the tough guy. And he seems very much confident and comfortable in his position as a rebel pilot, as someone who's, I guess, important in the rebellion. He knows his place, and he seems very confident, and I love that, and I love that he still tries to become friends with Jin and, I guess, support her in this mission that she's trying to do. I love that we got to see more of the android, whose name I never remember. I read it when the first few dossiers for the characters were revealed by Lucasfilm. I read the name. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. Just, I kind of love him. Well, first because he's played by Alan Tudyk, but also because when I think of atypical droids, like non-helpful droids, my go-to is always Marvin from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Of course, Marvin was more depressed. This one seems more like angry, but I really love just everything we got from him. And that little line about there being 90-something% probability of failure, it really reminded me of Marvin. I think Marvin has a line like that in the Hitchhiker's movie. So I immediately already love him. I think he's going to be a great addition, especially paired with someone like Diego Luna, who's this self-assured, let's do it, we can complete this mission type captain. It's kind of funny. Whoever didn't love Donnie Yen's scene in this, I'm quite sure that's going to be the best line of the movie, okay? The one about, you know, him not being afraid because everything is as the Force wills it. That was so great! It gave me chills. It gave me chills. I love that line. I can't wait to see him in action in the movie because I'm sure he's going to kick ass. And of course, we already know what happens to him thanks to the little spoiler that we got at Star Wars Celebration, but I just want to see him kick ass. That's all I want to do. He's going to be great. Of course, we got to see a bit more about Jin. We got to see a bit more about the story itself. We already knew the general idea that they're going to steal the plans for Death Star, but at the same time, we didn't know how Jin was involved in all of this, so now I guess they capture her for some reason. They send her in this mission, and I like that through the whole thing. I mean, we got to see more of her in the sense that she's not just this defiant girl. We can see now the hint of a transformation throughout the movie. Like, she starts off as very, you know, defiant, as I said. People compared her with Katniss Everdeen and stuff, but I think we can see hints of that development in this trailer, because by the end of it, she's the one rallying the troops. She's the one giving the speech. She's the one giving the pep talk, you know, we have to do this, are you with me? And obviously at some point she comes to really believe in the aim of the rebellion. Because maybe, you know, this is someone who's lived under the Empire probably her whole life. And she's probably been more than a little jaded about it. It's like, okay, sure, it would be great to destroy the Empire, but that's not gonna happen. By the end of this movie, she's going to believe that it's gonna happen, and she's going to try to make it happen, and I loved that. And then of course there was the Vader reveal, which I didn't find particularly like like most people did. I mean, it's Vader and you can hear the breathing, which is always really cool. But I think this first trailer, they were just kind of trying to show that he's in the movie, which I already knew, so it's not like it's a big surprise for me. I knew it was coming, so I'm not in huge shock. But I think it does open the door so that in the last trailer, like right before the movie or something, they might be able to actually give us Vader in action. Like him just mowing down rebel soldiers with his lightsaber or something, like action Vader. Because we already know he's in the movie. So I like the idea of what it tells me about the future of Vader in this movie or in this marketing campaign. So I'm glad that they had Vader. It didn't bowl me over or anything, but I'm glad that they had him here because at this point in the marketing, it opens more prospects for him to appear more in later marketing events. I think, though, that the things that kind of made me the more excited about this trailer was the way it was just composed. I mean, I think the cinematography is so gorgeous. They have these shots that are incredible. Camera pans out on a mountain top, and then all of a sudden there's this Star Destroyer floating above it, and it's so striking. You have scenes like, for example, that scene of the eclipse, seen from a planet when the sun just gets covered and you see the little ring of light around it. I'm going to guess, honestly, that the thing that's causing the eclipse is the Death Star. And just to, you know, twist the night a little bit more, I'm going to guess that that is from Alderaan. Like, that's Alderaan looking out into the sun just as the Death Star is going to destroy it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm being dramatic, because that would be a horribly painful way to end the movie. It would be very interesting, that's all I'm gonna say. That was where my brain went first, like straight away. That shot was beautiful. Then there's I love the shot of Felicity Jones and Diego Luna when they're in the cockpit of the X-Wing, and that's not the X-Wing though, that's, X-Wings only have like one chair. I don't know what it is. I assume it's some kind of rebel ship. When the two of them are there and they're talking, and then the camera pans to Diego Luna and he's kind of shadowed because of the light coming from the outside. It's just so gorgeous. Cinematography in this thing is going to be amazing. The music was incredible. I mean, just starting it off with like remnants of the Imperial March in the background, A+. That immediately gets you in the Star Wars mood. And just as the music kind of pumps up later on as you go down the trailer and the way it ends, it's just, I love the music. One of the things that I love about Star Wars the most is always going to be the music. It's unforgettable music, and I have no doubt that Rogue One is going to be also like up there when it comes to the score. But I think if I have to choose one thing that I like the most out of this trailer, it's just the idea that this is not your usual Star Wars story. This has nothing to do with the Skywalkers. It has nothing to do with the Jedi. There are no Jedi in this time frame here. We're going to take a look at what the real people are doing while, you know, everything is happening in A New Hope. And that is immediately attractive to me as a concept. They've always kind of suggested that this is the first true war movie in the Star Wars universe, and I love that idea. I love it, because while the original Star Wars movies, the episodes are, yeah, it's a war, it's happening in a war, it's a lot more individual. The fantastical elements of it make it feel a little bit less gritty. You would look at Star Wars as some kind of space opera fantasy type thing, sci-fi thing. You wouldn't look at it as a war film, and I want this to be a real war film, albeit with, you know, giant floating ships, but a war film. And I think this trailer gave me the most hope that I have for this to actually be the real essence of the movie, in that we see a bunch of people with no superpowers whatsoever, no magically enhanced abilities whatsoever, or force-enhanced abilities, I guess, trying to fight off an empire that has oppressed them for God knows how long. It's kind of amazing. If you look at that one shot of them in the beach of the just soldiers fighting each other and stormtroopers fighting against soldiers, that looks like freaking D-Day footage. Of course, the D-Day soldiers did not wear stormtrooper outfits, but it looks like D-Day footage. It's amazing. It looks like Saving Private Ryan in space. I think they're gonna pull it off. And one of the things that I love the most too, it's just the scenes where you can see normal people, regular people with guns fighting against these humongous war machines as if they were on a level playing field. And it's amazing to me, because that's what I want the movie to feel like. I want the movie to feel like it's a bunch of ragtag level rebels that don't actually have the warring power to fight against the Empire, still trying to do that anyway. It's incredible. You have that one shot of the guys firing off against a ship that's just coming off the ground and it catching on fire, and then you have that one shot of somebody using some kind of grenade, you know, bazooka type grenade launcher against an AT-AT and hitting it and causing it to tumble. It's mind-blowing. And then the whole thing ends with Felicity Jones' Jin coming down the bridge of a ship and being met at the end with a TIE fighter. I mean, this is just one human who's not wearing any kind of armor at that point, probably doesn't have that much firepower with her, and you're sending a freaking ship to fight her, and she's going to do it, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm just so excited about this. So yeah, I'm sure you can tell by now that I really, really love this trailer, and I can't wait for it to be December already. Like, can I just go to sleep and have it be December already? Because I need to watch this movie, okay? This might actually become my favorite Star Wars movie, and it's not even an episode. It's just an anthology story, but it might actually be what I wanted from Star Wars from the beginning. Not that I don't love Star Wars. Of course I love Star Wars. It's just, it's different. And yet still the same, and I love it. So yeah, I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead because my throat is gonna kill me, but I just needed to talk about this. If you guys love this trailer as much as I do, and if you guys are freaking out about this trailer as much as I do, please let me know in the comments. I would love to discuss everything with you. Such an amazing trailer. I can't wait to see this movie. And In the meantime, I will see you guys next week with my actual video entry for a Suicide Squad review. So this was just an exception. Don't take it as something that I will do every week. But I had to talk about the Star Wars trailer, okay? I was going to go insane if I didn't. So see you guys next Friday, and bye!